Well, I talk about hunting the weather all season long, and that's how I've killed the majority of my bucks for the past 3 decades, even a little bit more than that, even back into the late 80s. Something I never had a lot of time to hunt. I didn't have a lot of vacation. I didn't have a lot of money to hunt. When I worked at the bank a long time ago, they'd let me take a half day off. It just happened. There's a lot of women that work there, and those women didn't hunt, so I was able to hunt a lot and didn't have a lot of competition for days off. You know, my dad was in the factory. I have some friends like that. A lot of competition for certain places where you work, not others. I didn't have that. So if I was going to burn a half day, basically out of 20 half days total that I could burn for the entire year, I want to make sure that it was worthwhile to go hunting. And so I needed to maximize my time. And that wasn't always on the weekend, just because I could go on the weekend. I'd rather take a half day off in the week and not hunt on the weekend if the weekend was warm weather, because I just wanted to find success. I wanted to have a good day in the field, meaning a chance at success. Every day is a good day in the field. You're fishing, you're bird hunting, you're going for a walk, hiking, all great to enjoy God's great creation. But when I go hunting, I want to kill something, and I want to have a good chance at that. So I've always wanted to maximize my opportunities, and that always fell in the weather for a long time. I'll go through some points here. We have a major weather alert. This is awesome for this time of year, because we're starting with October 31st, and then we're slamming through into November 4th. And it's a great week of hunting in most locations. If you're down in West Virginia, over into Oklahoma, Tennessee, on that line right there, even Kentucky, southern Kentucky, you're gonna find a lot of the pre-rut in those areas is starting at this time. So just awesome hunting, scrapes and rubs popping up all over the place. And if you're up in the Midwest, and especially the upper Midwest, you're gonna find that you're getting into the lockdown phase and smack dab in the peak rut, and this is some of the best hunting all year long. So regardless of whether you're towards the south or you're towards the north, there's some outstanding hunting to be had with this week in the rut, let alone when you throw these weather patterns on it. It's just the great combo. It's adding fuel to the fire, and we're gonna have a great week. And I'm gonna start off by number one, temperature doesn't matter. What do I mean by that? It's the change in temperature. So I had a question this morning on a video, and I was talking about cold weather buck hunting and cold weather hunting monster cold bucks and those opportunities. Get a lot of comments on those. I try to answer all the comments I can. YouTube told me last year I answered over 10,000 comments. I engaged in over 35,000 comments. So I put a lot of time into that. And that's why a lot of times I don't answer emails. I get thousands of emails a year, paragraphs at a time. This is my land, this is what's going on. What should I do? I can't answer those. But what I do try to answer is on social media where there might be hundreds of people looking, there might be dozens, but it helps a lot of people with some of those, and those are the ones I try to answer, especially short, concise questions that are 1 sentence, 2 sentences at the most. But someone commented, and they said, does cold weather really matter, or cold weather hunting, when we get into the wintertime or December, late November, because it's always cold? And that's true when you compare it to August, September, but it's all relative. And what I mean by that is we're looking at change in temperature. So in early October, and you're in northern Kentucky, and you have daytime highs in the mid 80s, all of a sudden it drops to the highs in the 60s. That's a huge temperature change. Now, the highs in the 60s isn't the ultimate determination of when bucks are moving, it's that change. The weather that brings about that change causes stress on deer, causes them to lose energy, miss feedings. So right after that front goes through, they're ready to feed, they're ready to move, and so those temperature drops cause that, not necessarily a certain temperature. And that's why a drop up north, say central Minnesota, from 50 to 30 can be equal to a drop down in southern Kentucky from 70 to 50. It's that 20-degree temperature drop. And so that's why temperature doesn't matter, the ultimate number. Just look at that change. And that's what we're seeing each of these days coming up, and I'll talk about this coming week. Daytime high and low change. So we're looking at the daytime high to high, in the morning low to low. And so what's cool about this, and you look to scan some of these numbers down here, we're looking at every day for these first 4 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's dropping each day. Morning, it's dropping each morning. So that's a very good thing. They're comfortable, they're cruising, there's a little bit of a change each day, and I want to make sure that when we're looking at these temperatures, these are for our area right now here in southeast Minnesota, southwest Wisconsin. If you're over in Pennsylvania, you can plan on these weather fronts to take place in a day or two. I have people in Pennsylvania tell me right now they can't wait till next week Central New York, got feedback about that this morning. And certainly over in the east, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, as this front slides, you're about 2.5 days behind where we're at right now. So you can just fast forward. So that means when you get over to the East Coast, there's gonna be some great hunting. Always keep that in mind, that this weather is sliding through the country and you'll be a little bit behind. It pays to look at HuntCast on HuntWise or check your local weather forecast. Always consider, number 3, the low. When Sunday says it's going to be a high of 45 and a low of 35, 35 applies to Monday morning's low. It's really important you know that, because something you need to consider is that the morning low, a lot of times you'll look at an even temperature range. Let's say the next week, every day was around 45, 46, 44, 45, 46. And you look at the morning lows and they're 30, 31, 30, 32. All of a sudden there's a 27 thrown in there, or a 25. That usually means that wind stopped and died for the night. That usually means some clouds came out, so there wasn't this insulation layer up in the canopy. It means something changed. And that's why that morning pops up as a low temperature. So all things being equal, watch those morning lows. And so that's why it's important to know that when it says Tuesday's low is 28, that's referring to Wednesday morning, it's going to be 28. So you need to consider that when everything's equal. Let's jump down to right here. Now I just threw in here, Saturday's supposed to be 53 and 38. And you'd think, wow, that's pretty warm. But the Friday, and this is of course a couple days before you see this video, Friday was raining all day. Dylan and I sat in the stand till noon. We had heavy east winds hitting us in the face the whole morning. We didn't see any deer, didn't see any movement. A friend of mine, Joe Lasek, shot a really nice buck in Wisconsin over across the river. So they were moving a little bit. But the whole afternoon it's rained, and we're shooting this video right now during that rain. And we're not gonna go out this afternoon because all this rain all day is gonna suppress movement. It's steady. You can always shoot a buck in the rain, in a blizzard, in high winds. They're out in the woods. So they're always there, and it's daylight. You have a weapon, you have a tag, you might have a chance of killing them. But my bet's gonna be on tomorrow morning when this rain stops at a forecasted 2 in the morning. Winds die down a little bit, and even if they pick up, we're gonna be down in a valley outside of the wind. These deer are being pushed down in these areas with the winds and the storm that's going through. And so we're gonna have a great hunt in the morning, and that's gonna take place on Saturday. So I can't wait for that hunt. But from Saturday, 53, 38 for a low, goes to Sunday, and you can see Sunday's 45, then 40 on Monday, then 39, then 37. And look what it does on Thursday. Folks, if you have your rutcation this week, that's a day that maybe you take time to scout. It's going to be kind of a blah day. But look at these morning drops, 35 to 30 to 28 to 27. Each day it's getting cooler. And when you consider this time of year, and that's up through November 3rd, Wednesday, November 3rd, just some outstanding hunting that can't be missed. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. You know, it's not to say you're looking for one day a week that's great. In this case, we have 4 days in a row where it's getting a little bit better each day. It's getting colder. And even here where you see Thursday is supposed to be a real rainy day, well, 32 the next morning on Friday morning isn't that bad. So when you have I'm looking for all day rain on Thursday, I'm hoping. In fact, I just scheduled, I put too many miles on my truck each year. My truck is, I think I got it in December, early December last year, and in November, somewhere around there, and I already have over 50,000 miles on it. I carried the tires over from the vehicle I had. They had 25,000. So my tires right now are at 75,000 miles. They're chattering a little bit. They make some road noise. I don't like it. And so I scheduled my tires to be done on noon on this day right here. I hope it rains all day. Not only because I want that day set up for Friday. If it's raining all day on Thursday, that means it's going to be a good day on Friday. But I'm getting my tires changed, and I had to pick a day during the week. So I picked the cruddiest day to not hunt, and I hope it makes sense that you're going to look at some of these great days and pick the best days to hunt. It doesn't matter if you have a rutcation. Again, it goes back to, for me, it was always looking at how can I maximize my time of field effectively? How could I balance that with staying at home with the kids, satisfying my job, my career, making sure that I got things done at work, and then also having that balance of hunting and making sure that I had my balances in place so that I could not only balance my great times of field and when I had that potential for success, but also my work and career and family, and even some friends thrown in too. So think about that. the weather can help you out, not only balancing what days are great to hunt. And I know there's people out there, there's people say, I can only go hunting on Saturday and Sunday, all hunting season long. Well, my immediate reaction is I made the life choices when I was young to make sure that I had a career, and I set that up so that I could hunt not anytime I wanted when I was working for someone else, but I had a lot of flexibility. And whether it was 2 weeks vacation, I could take a half day off at a time. I did that for less pay in some of those cases because it gave me that flexibility to enjoy my priorities and passions. And so whether it was going on a family vacation, I wanted to go for a 2.5 day weekend where I could check out at noon on a Friday and get back on Sunday evening, go to work on Monday morning, even get back Monday morning, go to work. But it allowed me to balance time and certainly hunting too, and to try to maximize my success. So I know there's people out there that only can go hunting on the weekend, and hopefully you can maybe even consider a different career, look for a different job. If you really love hunting that much, a lot of times it takes a little bit of sacrifice to put that as a priority and make sure you can hunt those best weather days. And why does it matter? It matters because a lot of times compared to a bad day in the woods with bad weather, it can be 50 times greater. You can't say that with the moon. Like for moon phases, there's some little bit of movement change when there's a full moon at night. I've always talked about you hunt late mornings, there'll be some movement because the deer feed 5 times in a 24-hour period. So they're feeding high in the hog all night. That means early morning they're not going to feed that much. That means the next morning they are going to feed, or the next feeding they are going to feed a little bit. So that's that late morning, but that's it. And a bad moon phase, if it's great weather, you can't miss that day, especially during these rut days. On the other hand, if it's a great moon phase, but you have bad weather, like on Thursday, maybe it's more important to schedule getting your tires changed, even though it's November 4th and smack dab in the rut. I hope you enjoy this weather coming up this week. A lot of bucks, bottom line, will die. Thursday is a great day to scout, maybe change your tires, but always consider your best days. And maybe you don't have a lot of stands to rotate, but if you do, choose your best stands for the best days. If you really need to get out in the woods, choose your worst stands for the worst days, and just try to plan for that potential success. And all I want for you guys is, and the reason I talk about this is for you to have a great hunt, a great potential for success. That's why in the HuntWise app, I help build the algorithm for HuntWise. If you look up, I just had someone tell me in my comments this morning on YouTube that they actually bought the November Rut issue 2015 of Outdoor Life, where it has my weather algorithm that I published in there. It's 6 years ago now. I can't believe how fast the time flies and how many changes come about during that time. That's built into the HuntWise app, and we added HuntCast this year. That's something that I helped develop so that not only could you navigate the best days that are appropriate for your area, for which phase of the rut you're currently in, not just the 7 or 8 days, 10 days of the peak rut, but all phases of the rut, but also know what days are the best within each phase to hunt. If you want further information on hunting the rut, please check out my rut hunting web class, How to Hunt the Whitetail Rut. The link is in the description. I really appreciate those that have purchased that and enjoyed that rut web class already. Check out my food plot planting web class and also How to Design Your Property too. All 3 are in there on my store on my website. I appreciate you guys watching, and hey, enjoy this week. I hope you're one of those that are included with all these dead bucks that are going to take place this week and these great hunts, and most of all, those memories to last a lifetime that go along with it. Folks, I want to make sure you check out my web class video series, whether it's how to design your food plot program or how to design your property in general. And we have a new one coming out that'll be how to hunt the rut. But these bucks back here are a testament. Some of these bucks go back to 93. They're even in different states. I urge you to check out those web classes so that you can help yourself, help your land, help your hunt. The link is in the description. And also for those that have tried them out, I encourage you to offer some feedback in the comments below. Thank you.